And welcome to the SimmBros pod.
Yeah.
You're a little excited over there.
My bad. I know I'm yelling. I know it's early and I'm yelling. A long episode, but episode two.
I'm Chris.
I'm Cam.
And together, we're SimmBros.
And we're here to help you win your 20s. I just want to say thank you to everyone who, supported, appreciated the pod, listened to the pod, watched the videos, followed the Instagram. All you guys are amazing. Appreciate you. We do it for y'all, man.
Every single message received, even if you don't think it was that big, was as big to us as anything we've ever received. And when I say that, I'm being so genuine and so serious. Every single text I got, DM, whatever, I would automatically screenshot, send to Cam, and it would just be like more motivation for us to continue doing this, because we know that it's at least hitting home for some people. And that's all we're trying to do with this whole thing.
Couldn't agree more, man. If we can, I just want to talk to one person, right? And if we can change one person, if we can convince somebody else to lock in, that's always what it's up. That's what it's about, man, at the end of the day. So again, thank you guys. We're going to keep it going. It's only up from here. But yeah, let's get into episode 2.
So Cam, tell me, what's this episode about?
Yes. Episode 2 is called Investing is Everything. But not just the way that you think.
You're a little tough right there.
Chris, tell me.
This episode is all about reframing how you understand what investing means. Reframing what investing is, right? I know that word might give a lot of people anxiety. I need to be investing this amount of money, this and that. But money is important, and that's something we'll talk about for sure. But this episode is all about how do you invest in yourself, in your mind, in your body, and in your spirit, so that you can create the best version of yourself possible.
Hey, and let's also not forget, you still got to invest your money too. Yeah. That is very important.
Hey, listen, I wanted to make a little bit less of an understatement, but it is important.
I appreciate that. But yeah, like Chris said, investing is so important, whether that's the food that you eat, this amount of sleep that you have, the amount that you exercise, walk. Investing is really all about putting in the resources now in hopes for a greater return in the future.
Because the returns you get will be exponentially higher in the future than you can even imagine. Trust me. Whatever you can imagine, the returns you'll get if you start investing in yourself in everywhere right now are absolutely insane. Like, you really can't even fathom what you can get if you just start.
Compound interest, baby.
Compound interest in every aspect of your life. Again, money is important, but the whole point about this life is making sure we build great habits and invest in great habits so that we can allow those habits to compound over time. The people who you see who are living their best lives in their 60s, 70s, and beyond are because they, first off, invested in their resources, their time, and their money, but they also invested in their body, in their nutrition, in their exercise. That is why they're having so much fun right now.
Let's stop talking about it. Let's get into it. It's time to lock in.
You're right. Let's start with what you're all wondering about: money. I'm going to defer to my expert over here, Cam, because he's saved me already in my life, and it's very young so far.
This is
but
true.
He's done a lot for me. So, Cam, what does investing your money even mean? How do you even start and comprehend and just wrap your head around the whole thing?
Yes. Great question. And listen, I know we can go a million different directions with this. Oh, should I invest in this stock or that? Let's slow it down and back it up first.
This feels like one of my lectures already from him.
I've definitely told him this story. But the first thing you have to do is you have to budget. It's boring, it's annoying, but it absolutely is essential to creating wealth, because if you are overspending, underinvesting, or undersaving, any one of those three, you are losing money very quickly. I need this to be understood, the importance of a budget. The best way to track this budget is through a high yield savings account. There are many examples. I personally use SoFi. I think it's great. Marcus by Goldman Sachs is great. I've heard Wealthfront has, some great options. But the biggest key is that within my savings account, I can make different buckets with all different expenses that I have, savings goals, or even just fun money that I want to see. The visibility that I have with every single budget allocation is essential. So I know that, okay, I have a little bit extra money in my utilities because I didn't turn the lights on as much, or maybe it was a little bit warm over here, I didn't turn the AC on.
Yeah.
I can over adjust and put maybe a little bit of that utility money into my investment.
So what you're saying is always be structured and have a plan with your
Yes.
money. Be able to visualize it. It's not just the money's coming in, I don't know where it's going.
Yes.
When you have high yield savings account with buckets that show you, you know, fund money, rent, travel budget, all that, you can see in real time how that money is either increasing, decreasing, or where you might need to allocate more to. That sounds like what you're saying, huh?
Completely agree. It's all about just having the visibility.
Yeah.
That's really the biggest key. Believe me, I did not always have a budget. I actually didn't have a budget for a very long time, and I kept like looking at my bank account like, why is this number so much lower than it's supposed to be? Because
Yeah.
I would just be overspending because I didn't know how much money I could allocate to certain things.
All those Postmates orders added up.
Oh man, yeah.
Shout out, Dad. Appreciate you.
But yes, so that's one of the biggest things. And here's another thing. When it comes to fun money, purchases that are not absolute necessary expenses, let's try to cut those back to anywhere from 5 to 15%. If you can stay within that 5 to 15% range, you're actually going to be saving so much more money than you think. And then when you make those big purchases that are well within your budget and your fun money budget, you're actually not going to feel as bad when you make those purchases, because we've all had, what's that called? Purchase anxiety.
Yeah, you don't know if you're going to have enough money, right?
Yeah, right. So when you actually budget this and you budget your fun money aside, it'll actually make you feel a lot better because you know, oh, I saved for this. I know exactly.
Yeah,
how much money
it's money allocated for it. But that makes sense to me. But Cam, I'm in my 20s. This is the best time of my life. I want to do all the most fun things I can. I want to do everything, right? And you're telling me that I should be only putting 5 to 10% in fun money? Like, why is that the case?
Yeah.
Should I be investing the rest? What if I have all this money extra that I want to put into fun money, but am I wasting my money? I just don't get it.
Yes, I hear you. Don't worry. Believe me, I hear you.
You better.
We're in our 20s. I get it. But if you could set some of that money aside for investing, the absolute return that you will have will be exponential. And I know we talk about it a lot, but compound interest is absolutely a real thing. And if your best friend when it comes to compound interest is not the amount of money that you have or the amount of money that you put in, it is time. And so with time, if you stay consistent with investing, your returns will be unimaginable. I mean, we did some math today.
Yeah. I didn't even think it was real.
We listened to Prof G Pod a little bit earlier, and every 24 years, if the stock goes up 9%, which is on the average is about 11, so 9 is a little bit on the lower side, your money will 8x every 24 years.
I don't even understand. I can't even comprehend.
And
8x.
24 years, it's a long time. It's a long time. I hear you.
But I want to have fun now.
That time goes by so fast. No one has ever said, man, my life is moving so slowly. Never happened. It never will.
Especially as you get older.
No, exactly.
It's only moving faster. I mean, it's already May, bro.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Time is your best friend. Get the money in now. All right. Obviously, you still have to pay attention to the essential purchases that you make, the monthly purchase that you have. Those are the priority. But with the additional money, if you just invest some of that money into the stock market, it will literally make you millions of dollars. And I'm not exaggerating at all when I say that.
So that's why you're telling me about not putting all of my extra money into fun money, starting to invest it now because I have the time. I'm not 45, 50. I am 25. I have 40 years to work with right now.
Completely.
That is the difference. And for me personally, Cam helped me a lot with this. I remember when I just got out of college and I probably thought the same thing that a lot of you guys thought. I'm just getting out. I want to have fun. I don't need to invest money. That's for adults. That's for older people. And Cam was like, bruh, he gave me one of those lectures like he did at the start of this pod. Like, what are you doing? You need to invest now. And I was like, I don't need to be doing that. It doesn't make sense. I'm just early on in my life. I'll just let my parents and everybody else do that.
Heard it before.
That's what they're supposed to do, right? Because they're responsible. But once I started to do some research and understand the value of time, I was appalled and astonished by what my time could do. And it doesn't have to be $1,000. It doesn't have to be $5,000. It can be simply $10 a month. $10 a month, if you are consistent with that from age 25 on, you will be absolutely loaded. And it's not even a joke. It's really not a joke.
Really.
And that's what I couldn't wrap my head around, because I was like, I'm not making a ton of money. I want to save that money and do other things with that money. But he was telling me that if you don't realize the fact that time is on your side, that you don't have to invest $1,000 now, you can invest $10. But if you wait until you're 45, 50, that's when you're going to have to be investing $3,000 a month. And then it's not even going to work as much because it feels like it's coming more out of your pocket.
Completely agree. And before, just in case you're thinking, oh my God, is it too late? Is it too late? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. One thing to remember, the best time to invest was yesterday.
Yep.
And the second best time to invest is today. Do not forget that, okay? And never think you're too late, ever, because time is always on your side. Now, that said, we have to do our investing smart and not overthink certain things. So the absolute first thing, and I want you to pause this and do it, is open up a Roth IRA. It is completely free. It'll take you about 5 minutes. Open that up right now. If you have a Roth IRA already, great. You are ahead of about 90% of people your age. I promise. Like, it's really that serious.
Yeah, a lot of people don't. I mean, it's kind of astonishing sometimes when you ask people if they have a Roth IRA. No, I'll do that later.
I'll do it later.
There's no later.
No later.
Because you keep saying that it's with every part of your life. Oh, I'll do that later.
Yep.
I'll do this later.
Yep.
When does later even mean?
What's later?
What is it?
What is it?
I don't know.
I wish I could tell
I
you.
never knew what later even meant.
Later, what is that, tomorrow or 2 years from now? 10
years from now?
I mean, come on.
I'll invest later.
That's what I'm
Tell me when.
Do it today. Do it right now. It's not difficult. If it was difficult, I'd be like, okay, maybe talk to someone. Open up your Roth IRA. It's completely free. Open it up right now. Pause it. You good? Okay.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back. So you might be asking, what is a Roth IRA? Why should I even invest in it? It's a great question, and good for you for asking questions. That's always important. The great thing about a Roth IRA is that your gains grow tax-free.
Yep.
And you're able to withdraw tax-free as well.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
Do you not understand how huge that is?
I mean,
no tax, because you're putting in post-tax dollars, right?
Yes.
Your dollars are already taxed. So I can just put in $100 here. And if I make $400 off that $100 in 20 years, I get to take home all $500. No taxes.
It's fantastic. Right. So this is what the government does. Because you're able to withdraw tax-free, that's a very powerful investment vehicle. There is a max on it per year.
Yep.
That max currently in 2025, going into 2026 year, is $7,000,
Yep.
which roughly equals around $585 a month. If that is something that you're comfortable investing, you'll be able to max out your Roth IRA by budgeting out that much.
And it doesn't have to be, I need to invest all $585 a month, $7,000 a year. That doesn't have to be your end all be all for investing. That's where the all or nothing approach comes in.
If you can't max it out, why would I even put money towards it?
Exactly.
That's completely wrong. You should not be thinking.
That's the all or nothing. Like, if I can't put $7,000 into this a year, I'm not going to invest at all. That makes no sense. And that is actually will make you lose money. And what we're trying to let you know is that even if you can put in $50 of that $7,000, that is way better than putting in zero. Truly, you can't comprehend. If you are 23 years old, like Cam is, and you can't put in $7,000 because you're just out of college, that no one's going to hold that against you.
Fine.
If you put in $50 and let that grow tax-free for 40 years at an average of 8 to 12%, you don't even want to know how much money you'd have after investing $50. Like, just 50. And this is before you get your big time corporate jobs where you're making a lot of money and you have a lot more flexibility with your investing. That is why the time part is so important. Time is your biggest asset, not the money you have. That's what you need to understand as you approach building your wealth of your dreams.
Completely agree. Chris, you're spitting today.
Nah, I'm feeling it. I learn from you, though, every time. Every time I'd say the same things. I'd say the same things. I don't want to do it. I just don't want to. What's the point? I can't even invest that much money. What's the point? I was just like the rest of you.
It's true.
I was. I'm a spinning image of it.
So stubborn. He is.
And now look at me.
Now he's an advocate. I love it. I know what you're thinking. Okay, I put the money in the Roth IRA and then what? It grows 11%. Hold on. Let's take one step back. You have to actually invest in certain things in your Roth IRA. You should not just leave it in the account because the amount of interest, it'll probably be maybe like 0.5% interest, which is not a lot, by the way. In your Roth, you want to invest in low-cost index funds.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to a podcast the other day, and this investor, Charles Ellis, said investing is like tennis. Right? The pros win by scoring points, and the amateurs lose by giving up unforced errors. And that's how I feel with investing. Don't try to win if you're not a pro. This is not your 9 to 5. And honestly, knowing investment banking, you're like 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. job.
Yeah, exactly. We both done it.
Yep. There's no need to go try to find the next big thing.
Yep.
It's not going to work. I promise you it's not going to work.
And it's just going to cause you too much heartache.
Completely agree. So like I said, you want to invest in low-cost index funds.
But what are low-cost index funds, though?
Yes, great question. Essentially, low-cost index funds, or ETFs, are baskets of stocks that are auto-allocated by certain corporations in order to give you the best return possible.
Yep.
So essentially, you're not, let's say, for example, something bad happens at NVIDIA and you have 100% stock in NVIDIA. That's going to be a pretty big hit to your stock.
I mean, it's your entire portfolio.
That's 100% of that's a pretty big hit.
Yeah.
But if you invest in this ETF, NVIDIA is probably around 7% of the total ETFs. Even if NVIDIA takes a hit, there's still so many other stocks that can, be reallocated and keep you level.
Yeah.
Basically, you're just not going to take the hits as hard, and maybe, when there's a lot of success, you're not going to get that, like, you're not going to ride the full wave, but you're still going to, like, receive a lot of benefits.
Yeah, because remember, we're all about playing the long game. We're playing the long game here.
Completely.
And just because I might not get 100% of gains if NVIDIA goes up 400%, I'll take enough gains to make sure that if things lose, I will not lose as much.
It's a significant amount.
That's the difference. And the reason why ETFs are really cool is because it gives you exposure into many different companies and stocks that you might not be able to afford regularly, right? Say you invest into an ETF like an S&P 500 ETF. This gives you, and let me tell you, this gives you exposure into all 500 of the top companies in the world without having to buy each and every one of them. That's what it does. It gives you exposure into everything where you don't really have to do anything. You don't have to be an investment banker trying to find the best stock that's going to go up 500%. Instead, you just invest in that and you are exposed to so many different industries and sectors in the world. That's what makes ETFs so special.
Completely agree. You can just sit back, relax, and enjoy that cash flow.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's fun.
And here's the greatest thing. These allocations in the ETFs are being managed by professionals who auto-adjust based on, where the world's going. Maybe we need to invest a little bit more in tech. Maybe tech's bad because AI could be fighting us back. Who knows? All I'm saying is that it will be managed by somebody else. So like I said, you sit back, you relax. If you want to read the news, go for it. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you don't want to read the news, I don't blame you. It's still nothing wrong with that. It'll be auto-adjusted and they'll be managed by professionals.
That's the biggest thing for me. I don't want to have to worry about auto-allocating something tomorrow when a random thing in the news happens. I just want to be able to invest my money here, sit back, relax, and let it go, right? Let it go. And just continue doing that, letting other smarter people who know what they're doing, as opposed to me, do what their job is, which is auto-allocating and figuring out what is the best way to make money for everyone who invests in their ETF. Even though I know that, Cam, what if I have one stock that I just know it's going to go to the moon? I know it. I just don't know why, but I know it, and I want to invest all my money into it. I know this, and I believe in it. Yeah, what do I do in that situation? Do I still stay with ETFs, or do I move all my ETF money into that stock? What do I do?
Great question. Here's a recommendation for you. I would recommend, and I'm not a financial advisor, this is not financial advice. I would recommend that you first max out your Roth with these ETFs, be safe, worry about your future. You should be worried about your future. That's first and foremost, right? After you max out your Roth, go crazy in your personal brokerage.
Do whatever I want.
Do whatever you want. And so here's a reason why a Roth is better than personal brokerage. Personal brokerage, you're double taxed. So the money going in is post-tax money, and you have to pay capital gains tax. So even if you do find that winner, it's still going to be taxed at a very strong amount, especially compared to a Roth. But yeah, obviously the benefit with a personal brokerage is that you can take that money out at any time. You obviously would have to pay taxes, when tax season comes around. Still a good investment vehicle. Not the best, personally, but still a great one. So again, my recommendation, I would waterfall first. So max out the Roth and then go to the personal brokerage, especially if you find that winner.
Yeah.
Because look, there's been a lot of winners, right?
There's a lot of proposed winners.
That's what I'm
Everyone
saying.
always said
Everybody got a winner,
It
but
ends up not being what you think it is.
that's not how it works. The real wealth is to make sure that your money works for you.
Yeah.
You know, the only way that you can really get that is through consistency and discipline. Like, Chris, you have anything to say about like staying under budget or
Yeah.
any tips?
It's pretty hard for me, I'd say, with rent nowadays. I'm doing my best with the consistency and discipline of it all. That's all aspects of life. And that's where sort of investing comes in. You can only invest when you feel like it, when you have enough money, when you made a good bonus, things like that. Yeah, it probably feels easy to invest. But what about on those days where you might have not hit a quota, or you just might have not made the money you wanted to make that year? Like, that is what is going to make or break your life. Not when you want to do it, not when things are coming in great, when you have all this money coming in, when things are a little tight. But I'm going to take that extra step and invest that $50. Maybe miss out on one dinner out, because I know if I miss out on that one thing to invest my money, 20 years from now, I won't even remember that dinner. But you know what I will remember? That money in the bank account.
That's true. I know that's right. And so kind of just like to wrap this up, like we were talking about, there'll be surprises in life where you have to pay money you didn't know you have to spend.
Yeah.
I got a ticket for driving up here in the Bay Area.
Trust me, I know, because the car is registered under my name and I got that ticket to me.
It wasn't even that bad.
It's expensive.
Yeah, but it was expensive. And that's the point we're trying to get at, is with this budget, you'll actually be able to see, okay, I have a little bit more money here that I saved, because oversaving is not a bad idea. Never a bad idea. So I have a little bit extra money here that I oversaved. I can use it to pay for this ticket. And coming around the next paycheck cycle, I know that I need to maybe oversave a little bit more. Like I said, the budget will just help you with visibility. So that's number one.
Next, you also need to think about how you build wealth, which is your passive income subtracted by your burn rate. And Cam, I really need you to explain that to me.
Yeah. So passive income is the amount of money you make while you're sleeping.
Dude, that's the best money. I love it.
I mean, it's the money that you don't have to think about,
Yep.
and it's working for you.
Yep.
Overtime. You got to remember this. So if you can keep that passive income growing, and so that money is your ETFs going up, that's you contributing to these ETFs, dividends, which we'll get into. If you can keep that number stronger than the amount of money that you spend, your wealth will accumulate greatly over time. And like we said, exponentially over time. Time is your best friend.
Time's your best friend. And
finally, being rich, I read this the other day. Being rich is 49% about how much money you make and 51% about how much money you save. So just don't forget, it's not about how much money you make.
It isn't.
That's not, actually, at this age, in our 20s, there will probably be the least amount of money we'll ever make.
Yep.
So it really has nothing to do with how much money you make. It's about how much you save, how much you invest, because time is on your side. So open up that high yield savings account right now. Open up that Roth IRA right now.
I'm doing it.
You will set yourself up greatly for success in the future. Because like we said, time is on your side.
Time is everything with investing in money. And now as we move into investing in yourself, investing in your spirit, because if you're not feeling your best, you won't be able to enjoy the dividends you receive from your investing. You won't be able to enjoy the dividends of your life, which is why it's immensely important to also invest in yourself in ways like your career, your mental health, your personal growth and development. Those are areas that you need to also invest in, because you can't just invest all your money and do that, but then you're going to get to a point where you have all this money, but you're not happy. You don't feel well.
And if you're not happy, then what's the point?
There's no point.
I mean,
there is no point.
So that's why, obviously we talked about investing your money. That's also important. I know Chris said that, but we're really trying to invest in ourselves. And you got to do these things every day.
Every day.
Sometimes it might cost you money. Sometimes it's free.
Yep.
But this is a constant investment. And like every other investment vehicle, you put in the resources now, you reap the benefits later.
Oh, absolutely.
And you still reap the benefits now too, because you're investing a lot.
Yeah.
So this is very important. I know mental health needs to be talked about more.
Correct.
At a wide scale level.
And we're not experts on that topic.
Not experts on it. But we are going to be talking about it because it is extremely, extremely important.
And it all works with investing in yourself, because that's what you need to do in order to enjoy the fruits of your labor, whether it's in your career, whether it's doing things like journaling. Those are all things that help you out and help you build and invest in yourself so that later you're feeling great. And I think one of the most important things that not a lot of people think about when they say investing in yourself is actually investing in building skills for your career.
So yeah, like what are some of those skills?
Yeah, I mean, you can talk about a lot of different areas based off where you were going. But for me personally, I knew I needed to build up some sort of technical programming skill to have for my personal tech job.
Why?
Because I wanted to be in product. And the only way to really do that is show that you know how to build something or build it, right? Like that was the skill I started investing in. And that was why I did all those coding classes every night after my regular 9 to 5. There are areas like that where you can do. And there also, if you want to become something big in finance, right? There are Excel classes. There are things you can do outside of your normal day-to-day job that will help you develop. Because the people who become successful truly are the ones who build up a broad range of skills that are transferable to a lot of different areas in life.
Completely agree. I mean, even for us, you know, this podcast equipment is not cheap.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me.
And obviously,
You still owe me for that parking
hey,
ticket.
hey, hold on. Let's talk about that off air. Yeah, this podcast equipment is not cheap, but we still chose to invest in ourselves, right? And in this case, that was investing with money, investing in time. We tried to learn how to like set up a good podcast,
How to edit,
how to edit,
any of
like
this.
what to even talk about.
You don't even know what this setup, how long it took us to figure out what was good.
It took forever, right?
And
And
the
so-
USB-Cs.
and so that's why, you know, investing in yourself is important, right? We knew this is what it would take to
Yep.
get to a level that we wanted to be at. And obviously we're nowhere even near where we want to be, but we're putting in the effort, we're putting in the hours now, right? And over time. And like we talked about before, it's only up from here.
Only up.
Only up exponentially. Gotta love it.
The same thing with money, same thing with your personal life.
Amen.
When you invest in yourself, it's about investing in things like we just were talking about, starting a side hustle that makes you feel happy, right? You always wanted to put your creative side towards something. Start it, do it, invest in it. Because the time when you say later, what does later mean?
What does later mean?
I don't know.
I wish I could tell you.
That's all important. Your networking and relationships.
Yes.
That sometimes is what will get you the job over anything else.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
Skills sometimes don't pay the bills.
They don't.
people.
They don't.
They don't pay the bills.
You can be the perfect candidate,
Yep.
but you were missed out because someone liked this other person better. Because they saw them at one networking event and they really stood out.
Happens all the time.
All the time.
So it's all about who you know now. Talk to people. Network.
Invest in those relationships, though.
Yes.
The happy hours. I know.
We heard it.
We've been victim to it too. I don't want to go, but sometimes it is helpful.
Yes.
Right? And that is where it hurts in the moment. Losing money to invest hurts in the moment. Going to that happy hour might hurt in the moment.
All you want to do is go home
Yep.
and sleep or decompress from a long, stressful work day.
Yep.
But you got to go.
And it's worth it.
It's worth it.
Because later on, that person might be hiring and you might get the job over someone who's way more qualified than you.
It's crazy how often that happens.
Yeah, totally. And this also comes in things like mentorship too. Everyone needs a mentor, and you have to invest in that type of thing, right? Having someone who's done a job you want to do, pick their brain,
Yep.
set up a chat, connect with them, because that's helpful for you. You learn a lot of things behind the scenes.
Completely agree. And let's not forget, like, this is not going to happen to you.
No.
You have to make it happen.
That's a great
You have to seek out
That's a
these
great point.
people.
Yeah, because people are busy.
But guess what? People love talking about themselves.
They do.
I mean, we started a podcast.
I mean, look at today. He's been going on forever.
All right. But yeah, like we said, people love talking about themselves. And if you ask them real career questions about how they got to the spot that they're at today, get ready. They might be busy, but they got time for you.
They definitely do.
You'll see how some of those meetings, it turns from accepting meeting invites to declining when you're talking with them.
Yeah.
They just want to continue that conversation. They want to help you out, right? Seek out good mentors. Seek them out.
And that's all about investing. Like, you're investing in your personal development and growth by looking for a mentor. It's hard to reach out to people.
Yes.
It's scary.
It's intimidating.
Are they going to say no? Are they going to do this? Like, I don't want to do it. But the people who do are the ones who become successful.
Crazy.
They have mentors because I love this quote. Bill Belichick says it a lot where he says, if you're starting out to become a new coach, you should have a mentor who was an old previous head coach because there's nothing that prepares you to become a head coach in the NFL.
Yep.
Nothing. The only thing that prepares you is literally experience. And that is why you need to have people who have done things before who can tell you the ins and outs of different things. That's important. And I think too, and lastly, kind of the relationships and like-minded communities you put yourself around, because like they say, you are some of the people you're around. Your 5 best friends, right? The 5 people you're around closest to, and your communities. So if you're a runner, if you like going to the gym, find a good gym community, find a run club, find anything that's like-minded. If you play chess, find a chess club. Have things that there are commonalities with you and other people, because once you have that, it's easy to talk to them. Just talk to them about chess, talk to them about running, whatever new running shoes they have.
Fostering these relationships and increasing your networks is not a bad thing. It never will be.
Yeah. And you want to know what else isn't a bad thing?
What's that?
Investing in your body
Okay.
and your health.
I heard that.
I mean, the biggest thing you can do, even bigger than investing in your money, is investing in your health. I know a lot of y'all have heard this before, but you have 99 problems until you have a health problem. Because when you have a health problem, that's the only problem you'll ever have. You want to know, you remember when everything in your life feels good, then you get a little bit stuffy nose? All you can focus on is that stuffy nose.
Man,
right?
Has you thinking, I wish I appreciated the time when I didn't have a stuffy.
Take me back, right? And it's something as small as that. Yep. Stuffy nose is, in relative terms, not bad at all compared to what could be going on.
Stuffy nose.
Right? But you always are like, man, I wish I could breathe right now. I wish I could taste this food right now.
Yeah.
That is why investing in your body and health is so important, because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. If you don't have your body, you can't enjoy your millions of dollars.
Completely agree.
Isn't that insane though? Because people can be big on the first 2 things, investing in your money, which is great, and investing in your personal development and growth. Great. You've built up a great career. You invested a lot of money and you're sitting in a great corporate position. But now something goes wrong because you haven't been focusing on your health.
Yes.
You haven't been focusing on it. And now you can't even work your job. And now your money is being lost because you have to pay for all these medical bills. All the things you worked up to.
It's a tale as old as time. And unfortunately, it keeps happening. And it will forever happen. But not to you guys. Not to y'all.
I don't want it to. This fires me up a lot because, it's just, when you have the ability to live a beautiful life that you've built in so many other ways, but you neglect the one thing that we all know we only get one of, which is our body.
Only get one.
There's no coming back from that. There's no do-over. This is not a pit crew with NASCAR where let's just go get new tires. Like, what? I'm going to go get new hands? Like, that doesn't happen. Like, how are we talking about this, right? Like, it's true, bro.
You can't get new hands,
technically, but like, what if you have a disease like scurvy because you're not paying attention to something?
Okay, fair. Yeah,
like, listen, it's true, man. It's all about investing in your health. And this comes from exercise, diet, and nutrition.
Okay, let me ask you then.
Yeah.
What is some exercise that, I could be doing?
Yeah, first off, before even thinking about what type of exercise, let's take a step back and understand that the exercise you should be doing is the one that you can be consistent with. That's it.
Love it.
Like, you don't need to be running marathons. You don't need to be running 20 miles a week. Nope. What can you do consistently? But be realistic with your expectations and make sure you're also pushing yourself. Yep. So in thinking about that, as I talk about what type of exercise, make sure you put it towards whatever your mold of life is, right? You don't need to be extreme. You just need to be consistent. That's the most important part. Like with everything in investing. So when you're thinking about exercise, it's all about some sort of cardiovascular exercise and some sort of strength and resistance exercise. A combination of those 2 things will allow you to live the most healthy, beautiful life you can.
Compliance is the science. Basically what that means is without consistency, you can't, it's not going to happen. Whatever goal you're looking for, it won't happen. You'll never get somewhere. You'll never accomplish one of your biggest dreams, biggest goals accidentally.
Nope.
It has to be very purposefully with strong consistency, right? And so when we say compliance is a science, what works for you?
Yep.
Because what works for you doesn't work for you.
Well, because what works for me doesn't work for you.
Exactly.
We work out way different.
Completely different.
Completely.
So it's whatever works for you that you can be consistent with. Compliance is the science. Figure it out. What works for you? Keep it going. Keep it moving.
And you're probably like, okay, I've heard exercising is important, fitness and all that, but you guys might be more just fitness heavy than most other people. And we are. But at the same time, when you realize what exercising does to you, that is what will change your life. I was listening to Dr. Eric Topol on Mel Robbins' podcast. If you guys haven't listened, it's great. And I love Mel. But he went on, and this is one of the most respected doctors and health researchers in the world. This is the one thing he said.
What do you say?
Exercise is literally the only thing we know that lowers our biological age.
Well, then what is biological age and why is it important?
Yeah. Biological age has become a lot more prevalent lately. Just think about it. You're 23 years old.
Yes.
And if you measured your biological age, you'd want that to be lower than 23.
Yes.
Because you want, to be like feeling like you're 17, 18, having the body of an 18-year-old at 23.
Whoa.
As opposed to having the body of a 30-year-old at 23.
Definitely not.
Because you know what that means? That means you're living 7 years behind. That means by the time you're 60, it might have compounded. And at 60 years old, you could be the body of the 80-year-old. Could you think about that?
So like my organs would be functioning as like an 8-year-old.
Yes.
That's terrifying.
That's the difference. And that is why exercise is so important, because it literally lowers your biological age. Could you imagine if you were 60 and you had the biological age of a 45-year-old? Think about how happy you'd feel and how full of life you'd be, because you're like, I got way more time than I even think about.
And even crazier, that's when you can withdraw your Roth money.
Oh, it kind of works out together. But when
Full
I'm talking
circle.
about this, right? Like when I say 60 years old, feeling like a 45-year-old, there is someone else who, again, we saw on Instagram. Her name's Jerry Leo. She's 100 years old.
Born in 1925.
1925.
Insane.
And I'm telling you, we'll link the video or we'll show it somewhere.
Yeah.
If you see her, she legit looks like she's 75.
They
The way
all-
she's moving is unbelievable. And it's emotional. It makes you emotional.
It should.
Because it shows you that if you are just consistent with it, just a little bit, if you just put a little bit of effort into it, it's not even really a lot. You can be this way. And she's saying she's exercised almost every day of her life she can't even remember how long.
I mean, look, she's not deadlifting.
No.
She's not. No.
I mean, she's 100 years old.
So I'm saying, like, you don't have to be doing these crazy
Nope.
compound lifts or whatever. It's just the consistency, what works for you. Compliance is the
Science.
There you go.
Say it again.
They.
Say it with me. I'm not going to say it again
No.
with you, though. But that's just what it is. If it's hard now, you can make it easy later.
Yes. Yes.
All about it.
Your choice. Your
Your
choice.
choice.
You want a hard life now, easy later,
I'd do that any day
or
of
an
the week.
easy life now, hard later. Your choice is yours.
But what if I just want life to be easy?
Again, humans are used to being alive for about 30 years.
Yep.
If you're talking about like the existence of humanity, 30, 40 years. The human brain is not meant to think, oh, what will life be like when I'm 90?
Yep.
Even though that is possible now. A lot of people live towards 90s and above. Try to just think about it. Your life could be hard now for
Yep.
a very short amount of time and easy for an extremely long amount of time. Or you can have the reverse. Easy right now for a short amount of time and hard for a much longer amount of time. Choice is
The
yours.
choice is yours.
I ain't gonna stop you.
It's all about investing in your body and your health and the nutrition, the food you eat, the exercises you do.
What types of foods should one eat?
Yeah. I mean, again, a lot of it is what can you be consistent with, but you need to be focusing on whole foods, foods that had a mom and dad, that grew from the ground, that don't have any ridiculous ingredients in them. People ate for years and were healthy.
Yeah.
This is what is happening now, where there are a lot of different foods, easy options out there for you that are really not great for you.
Yes, you have to understand these corporations, they have certain numbers that they have to hit.
Like everybody.
So obviously the less amount of money they put into their product, the more amount of profit they can return. So they tend to cut these good ingredients with cheap alternatives just to make it a little bit extra profit. So I know it can be a little bit time consuming or frustrating, but don't forget to flip that item. Look at the ingredients. If you're reading things that don't make sense, like that's
Sodium ducrose, whatever. Like, I don't
mean,
even know what that even means.
yeah, if you're reading things, you're like, I can't even pronounce this.
Yep.
It's probably a good sign that
to look somewhere else.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Nutrition's all about whole foods, unprocessed things as much as you can. Again, no one's perfect. Cam and I aren't perfect. We have processed foods all the time.
All the time.
We're not someone who's eating off a cutting board every single day. We're just trying and being as cognizant as we can to put the right things in your body.
That's all that matters.
When you think about it, again, it's cliche, but if you think about yourself like a car, if you have a nice car, you're not putting in low-grade fuel, right?
Yep.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do it?
You want to put in high-grade fuel to make sure that car is functioning properly. And if you're talking about your body, if your body's a McLaren, I'd be wanting to put in great fuel into that body as well.
That's 0 to 60 in 2.9, I'm gone.
I mean, whatever you were saying, I guess a lot of people would get that.
People get that. People get that.
I guess.
You know what I'm talking about, Tyler, who that boy? Whatever.
Yeah. So, investing in your body, investing in your health, investing in what you eat every day will pay dividends. You'll get dividends from your stocks.
Yep.
You'll get dividends from your career, from your mentors.
Yep.
And you'll get dividends from your health.
Dividend might be my new favorite word, Chris.
I think it will be at the end of this. Because life, when you invest in all aspects, you get more dividends than you receive, than you even could imagine. The dividends you receive, you just, oh my God, more and more. Because I'm just focusing on myself and I'm investing in all aspects of my life so I can live the most beautiful life ever.
That's all we want. Don't forget, with every single one of these different investments, investing in your body, investing in your money, investing in your personal life or personal growth, you will get out way more than what you put in. But you got to put it in now. Because remember, time is on your side. So you got to put that in now, put in the effort, put in the resources now. Guess what? You're going to get out a lot more.
Speaking of not getting out a lot, last night, James Harden, the Clippers. We got a lot to talk about in the NBA.
Yeah, yes we do. Yes we do. Big Game 7. Right now, we're filming before the game started. Warriors-Rockets.
Yep.
What are your thoughts going into this game?
Man, we shall see. It's Game 7. And I thought it was really cool that Charles Barkley, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith, some of the greatest basketball players ever were saying
Kenny?
that they get
Kenny?
He was good, at least. He did well. But even they were saying, I get nervous before a game. You don't think like that.
No.
You don't think that players like this get nervous before a game.
Oh, yeah.
Charles was like, I couldn't sleep.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep before a game. It's like, this is Charles Barkley, one of the top 20 greatest players of all time.
20 may be a little bit high. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, he grabbed a lot of rebounds.
The round mound of rebound.
Chuck GPT. You like that commercial? but yeah, I mean, tonight's game thoughts.
Bro.
So the game thoughts tonight is just, we got to see what's going to go on. Who can score? Is it going to be a battle of defense, which is what I expect? Usually in Game 7s, a lot of people get tight.
Yes.
So is Houston going to have enough shot-making ability to ward off Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler? Because we know they are proven playoff big-time shot makers. I mean, probably Butler a bit more than Curry. I don't want to say too much, but we've seen that, right?
Watching Steph Curry is actually like a religious experience.
It is.
It's like, seriously, watch him off ball.
Yeah, like that's what we have to change. A lot of regular fans watch the ball.
Yeah.
If you just watch Steph the whole time, you'll have way more of a fun experience. Try to watch everybody like switch and all that stuff. It's crazy.
Yes, it's absolutely ridiculous. Steph Curry has done so much for the NBA. Watching him off ball is insane.
Insane.
If he has an inch of daylight, it's going up and he's making the shot.
I never think he's missing the shot.
Literally, watch the Rockets zone. They're making up new zone principles just to be able to kind of guard him.
Making up zone principle. I saw they're taking something from Dean Smith. How long ago was Dean Smith coaching?
Dean Smith coached Michael Jordan in that, like, the end of his career at UNC.
Yeah, he was there for a while.
Yes.
Like Dean Smith concepts. But
I mean,
it's going to be about who can score in a tough late clock situation.
So then who do you got?
Tonight I got the Rockets. I think Game 7 at home does a lot. We watched what happened last night, but it's going to be tough to go against the championship pedigree on what's on Golden State. But I think in a game that will probably be in the low 80s, maybe 90s if you're lucky, it's going to be a defensive game. You know, I think the Rockets defense is a bit better than Warriors.
Yeah. You know, I love the take. It is definitely going to be a low scoring game. However, I got Golden State. I'm not happy about it. Don't worry.
I mean, I kind of am leaning that way, but I'm going to go the other way.
Okay, I respect it. Yeah, I got Golden State. I just think that, honestly, I really will be very surprised if they blow a 3-1 lead to this Rockets team.
That's true. Yeah.
I'll be very surprised. They have
I feel
Hall
like
of
Steph
Famers.
can't make that happen.
I mean,
he's not going to let that
Steve
happen.
Kerr's a Hall of Fame coach. Draymond's
Yep.
a Hall of Fame player. Steph, obviously. I would be very surprised if that happens. I think Steph is going to have a crazy game.
I mean, all greats do.
He's going to put up so many shots, my prediction, but I think he's going to have a crazy game. He'll end up hitting a big night three at the end.
Yeah.
But don't worry, because Ant's going to sweep him.
Clip it. But yeah, so back to the Clippers.
Clip's going to clip, huh?
Yeah, I know. And I really like this Clippers team, even as a Lakers fan. I just really wanted Denver to go.
Yeah, I don't like Denver anymore. I hate the Nuggets.
It's
But
the same
Jokic is
story.
so good.
He didn't even
Murray
play
is so
super
good.
well.
I know.
Like, that's what gets me upset.
in Watson hitting threes.
It's
Christian
just like,
Brown.
It just seems like they didn't even. It wasn't like, oh my God, Jokic killed them.
What are you gonna do? It's
Yeah,
Jokic.
like he just, you couldn't stop him.
Yeah.
It was Christian Brown, it was Russell Westbrook, and then on the other end, it was just James Harden doing James Harden things. And I was an apologist this year. I will say that. I thought he was a third-team All-NBA player. If I had a ballot, he would have been on my third team. When I get a ballot.
Yo, true. But yeah,
He did it again.
And
Why are you only taking 8 shots?
I hate it.
8
because
shots?
He's an all-time player.
All time.
Easy top 75 NBA player.
All time.
But this narrative that maybe was unfair a few years ago of that he can't perform when you know the lights are shining bright, it's the game sevens, the deep playoff runs. I thought it was a little bit unfair before based on certain situations, but now it's just happened too many times to
Too
people
many
with him.
times. This is, we do a lot of life advice. But
Yeah.
This is kind of like when someone shows you who they are the first time, believe them then.
Believe it.
They're not going to change. I thought in year 16 that he would be a different player. Silly me.
He's not even he's not carrying a team anymore.
Silly me. I thought, we saw what he did in year 1, 2, 3, 4. He's been in the playoffs every year and has consistently, when it matters most, not played his best. I thought if he's done it 15 years straight, why would the 16th be different? I somehow thought it would be different. I don't know why.
Apologist.
I don't know why.
It happens. Unfortunately, James Harden, you had a bad game.
Yeah.
That said, Jamal Murray, good night. It's over. OKC Thunder only have clamping guards to throw at you.
Oh, yeah.
If it's not Lou Dort, who is it?
Casey Wallace,
It's not Casey Wallace, who is it?
Alex Caruso,
If it's not Caruso, who is it?
Aaron Wiggins.
I mean, you could throw J-Dub at, I mean, yeah.
I didn't even say J-Dub. That's on me.
Even Shea could get a steal or two.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray, good night. Thank you for your service. You are going to average less than 20 points this series.
And I think they're still going to play Russ the same way.
Yeah.
People, sometimes people can be saying, well, he's hitting shots. He hit 43% in the first round. Listen,
Come on now.
this all goes back to what we're saying. It's a law of large numbers. Westbrook is shooting. He was hot, right? That's great. Look what happened to PJ Washington last year. Remember all the threes he hit in the Western Conference semis against OKC? They were leaving him open for a reason.
Tell you Herm remembers.
Oh, yeah. Shout out Herm, baby. We were just talking about this. Then you saw him in the finals,
Nothing.
and it was, why couldn't he hit shots?
Pitiful. It was pitiful.
Right? And it's that, and when you play the law of large numbers, it will come back to the mean. One of my friends, Waylon, who was a Clipper fan, said Russ is going to shoot 2 for 32
Yeah.
this series. Just because that's how it has to happen. If he's shooting 43%,
Probably.
he has to come back down to his normal averages.
It will. That's just how it works.
And that series is going to be great.
No, it won't.
I know. I'm trying
Thunder
to say
in
something.
Thunder in 5.
I think they're like minus, 600?
650. minus
Wow.
650.
I mean, the Celtics are like minus 800.
That series is over.
Yeah, I mean, they beat the Knicks 4 out of 5. Or no, we beat all 4 this year, and then 8 out of the last 9. And an average margin of like 17 points.
And you got these Knicks. You got Knicks play. Yeah, I know they play 8 guys, but they really play 5 guys for 44 plus minutes a game. It's not gonna happen.
I don't think that
gonna
that Pistons series shouldn't even have been close, bro. Like, if you thought you had a chance against the Celtics, you can't make the Pistons series as close as it was because
Completely true.
Pistons could have really won that series.
They could have. There was a few games. I mean, a missed call here.
Yep.
Or a made 3 there.
They're up in the 4th, like in every game.
Yep.
Every game.
Every game.
Up 7 with 2 minutes left, 2:30, and you lose that game, you're probably going to game 7. Then anything can happen in game
Anything
7.
can happen in Game 7. God.
So-
So I got Celtics in 4.
I don't think they'll win. You said they'll win.
Maybe-
Knicks will win when they're down 3-0. They'll win that
Maybe
one
5.
game.
Like-
you can't just play drop against the Celtics. Like, who's Cat gonna guard?
Cat-
I mean, the Celtics are just unbelievable.
The depth you can bring in the subs. Drew Holiday hasn't even been playing really. Oh my God.
It's a lot, and they can throw a lot of guys at Brunson. I mean, we saw that with Luka last year, right? Like, that's Luka,
Yeah.
who's 8 inches taller than Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
And he was having trouble.
Yes.
You throw Jalen Brown at him, Derek White, and you throw Drew if you want.
Oh.
Tatum if you want some big
If you
body
want,
on them.
100%.
Right?
100%.
Even like weirdly Horford. He probably can't stay like enough, but you can give him a post touch in there. He can guard him. Like
dude,
even if they switch that, he can stay there.
The Celtics can switch 1 through 5 against Brunson.
Yep.
And they're not worried about any other one-on-one matchup.
Nope.
Good night.
Yeah.
I got Celtics in 4, maybe 5. But honestly, a good series. Cavs Pacers.
I think it's gonna be.
I think it could be an interesting one. Maybe not
interesting. I think it could be. They both play fast, and the Pacers are an interesting style of play, right? That you kind of have to get used to, with a lot of different ball screen actions and a lot of Halliburton trying to make the extra pass. I think that something I see a lot in watching them is that he'll drive a lot, not even looking to score.
No.
Like he'll sometimes be in the paint and make a pass outside the 3-point line when it's like, why don't you just take a layup?
Yeah.
But that's how they play.
And it works.
And he's a great distributor.
And honestly, it works for them a lot when they're at home.
Yep.
Some less so on the road. But this Cavs team,
they've been a buzzsaw, best team in the. I mean, I don't know if the Heat are really much of a.
That's true.
But still,
But
I mean,
hey, the worst you can, like the best you can do is sweep, and that's what they did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like this Cavs team. Honestly, I like them make a deep run.
Cavs Celtics would be great.
Should be
series
a great matchup. Cavs Celtics
if they get there.
Yeah, it's still need both teams to get there, but
Indiana has something to say about that. I think also the Cavs. One thing is they don't really have a ton of perimeter defenders.
Yeah.
Like Sam Merrill is good.
yeah.
But DeAndre Hunter, they don't really have. He's good.
DeAndre
But
is
yeah,
a perimeter
exactly.
defender.
But
And,
you don't
Dean
feel
Wade,
like right. So
Yes,
and Mitchell and Garland are both smaller guards.
Yeah.
So maybe Halliburton can punish them a little bit.
No, that should
Don't
be, it should be an interesting matchup for
But they have a ton of bigs who can erase things at the rim. So
Yeah.
when we're playing Twin Towers like that.
Hey, all this means is that we're setting up for some good matchups down the road.
Yep.
And yes, the Lakers aren't in it anymore.
It's okay. Luka, please get in shape.
Luka, please listen to the pod.
Please get in
Invest in
shape.
your body.
Listen, yeah,
We talk about
like invest in your body.
Luka.
Take your time to get your ailments, but like you should be back in the gym getting ready. This should have been an embarrassment to you after getting traded, and now you see Nico. He's getting a cracking little smile.
Yes,
he's
he
cracking a little smile right now,
he is.
and I would be too.
I would
He's seeing this. He's seeing you get blown by on every single possession.
By Jaden McDaniels,
I know.
not by like some offensive goop.
It just looks like you don't care. And he's smiling. He's like, look what I did. I traded this away.
Yep.
So I don't have to pay him.
Yep.
So what are you going to do?
I need you doing defensive slides all practice.
Start off your practice in defensive.
That's all I want.
Campbell hold tight.
We were talking about this. If the Thompson twins and Luka combined into one player,
Well, I don't even think that.
I mean, it would be the greatest player of all
Not
time.
even close. Way better than Wemby.
I mean, literally, first of all, these Thompson twins, they got to be in the gym too.
Bro, oh my God.
Doing the exact
Oh
opposite
my
of what
God.
Luka
Yeah, exactly. Luka's on one end practicing defense, and the Thompson twins are on the other shooting
Yes.
any shot. I don't even care. 3
Free-
feet away.
I talk about free throws, man.
Like you guys, you can't be 6'7" shooting 60% from the line.
Oh my
Both of them. It's like, God,
Come on now. What are you practicing?
why are you not? What are you practicing? Are you shooting?
Come on.
I don't know. Like, I really don't know what they're doing. And they're just so athletic. It's like, it
So-
looks like it's sped up when they play.
I mean,
what are they doing?
Defensively, they are, some of the scariest matchups you can have.
Yep,
You
absolutely.
don't want to go at them because they're big enough to
Yep.
guard some of these bigger forwards, but they also are quick enough to stay with these little guards. I mean, like you can see who they guarded. I mean, Amen guarded Steph, Sar guarded Jalen Brunson. Like these are little guards. These are people that are not easy to guard when you're 6'7" because they use their speed to take advantage.
There's a stat from the Game 6 game, Knicks. He was 1 for 7 against the SAR, Jalen Brunson.
Oh,
But guess what that one was in the fourth quarter?
that was that deep three. That's not back.
Hey, listen.
That was better than Jordan.
Get ready, Rook. I mean, like, it's not even a Rook, but it's like,
Basically.
it's kind of just like, basically,
Might as
right?
well be.
It's just kind of seasoning. That's what happens. They need to be, I love that. That's great. Have them on one side of the gym shooting, Luke on the other side play defense, and then they'll take tips from each other. I think that would be great.
That would be fantastic. Luka, if you don't dunk next year, I mean, what was the stat? Just the last thing before we go. We want to talk about the stat. Luka dunked, I believe it was around 86 times in his rookie year, which, look.
Oh, I didn't even know it was that many.
Yeah.
Wow. I never seen a stat. I trust you.
If you think about it, it's not a lot. 86 doesn't sound like a crazy number.
It feels like a lot.
But for a guy who's a little bit slower, a little bit less athletic, that is a lot.
Yeah.
Do you know how many times he dunked in the last 2 years?
I don't want to say a number.
One dunk in the last 2 years.
Yeah, he misses all these layups. Like, at least he missed like 10 layups in the series this year.
And it's not like he's like purposefully laying the ball up.
Like, he can't even get up there.
I don't even think he has the lift anymore.
Bro, you've seen those highlights they're posting all over Twitter? They're like Luka Doncic's pre-American food. What we were saying,
Yes.
pre the processed food. Invest in your body and invest in your health. It all comes back to it.
Full circle.
Even in sports, investing in your health and investing in your body. Luka, if you're listening to this, which I know you're not, but one day.
You should, one day.
One day. Please invest in your body.
Awesome. Okay, people. So that's going to wrap it up for episode 2. Investing is everything.
It's everywhere, and it's in all aspects of your life.
And
Always.
Don't forget, time is on your side.
Always.
So the challenge for this week is to do a self-assessment and ask yourself, where am I underinvesting in my current life? Maybe it's financially. Maybe it's spiritually, mentally, career, what?
Yep. Anything.
Take your time.
Yep.
You got it. That's the challenge for today. That was episode 2. Thank you all for tuning in.
And we'll see y'all next week on a new episode of SimmBros Pod. Catch y'all then.
See you.